Y'all, I know I'm late doing this video, but then again, when Logan Paul was walking like he was coming to talk and wanted Jey Uso and all that stuff or whatever, we seen like a glitch on that board there to the left-hand side of your screen. It's kind of weird. Wonder if it has some kind of connections to the Wyatt 6. But we'll see. Anyways, we pretty much started off the show with Bron Breakker in a suit with Seth Rollins. And they said the suit that Seth Rollins had on was a $13,000 suit. And I was like, yeah, ain't no way I'm spending that much on a suit unless I, pretty much have to have it. The most I'll spend on a suit is probably $500. That's it. But anyways, they started out the show with all of them, including Paul Heyman. Sami Zayn coming out and said, what is this? This is a whole bunch of crap. And Seth Rollins pretty much gave Sami Zayn like an ultimatum of pretty much, if you go to SmackDown, you'll face the winner of John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, with something that Sami Zayn has never won in WWE before. And, he was either like a tag champ or Intercontinental champion. Paul Heyman was backstage saying, trying to tell him, that he's made this deal for him to go for SmackDown. And I think they're pretty much about to be trading some stars from Raw to SmackDown, from SmackDown to Raw, or stay the same. You can see Karrion Kross, he pretty much talked to Sami Zayn before, about joining to the dark side. And then, of course, Sami Zayn, was run again by Karrion Kross once again and told him, hey, make the right decision. And this is not the only time. This has been like 3 times before WrestleMania and before WrestleMania again. Well, not before WrestleMania, but you get the gist what I'm saying. He ends up running up to Jey Uso, and Jey Uso said, whatever you do, he said, I just wanted to be good for you. And then, of course, that's where Jey Uso ended up getting knocked out by Logan Paul when they had their little segment. We'll get to that later on. Sami Zayn pretty much came on later in the show and pretty much said that, that he don't accept his offer. And then after then, you just hear Bron Breakker's little siren thing go off and his song hit, and I was like, oh shoot, here we go again. And a lot of people pretty much are saying that Seth Rollins is pretty much like Roman, he's pretty much like the new Roman Reigns, because he has this back person, he has Paul Heyman, and he also has a muscle, which is Bron Breakker. And you can see where during that match at the main event, Seth Rollins is telling Sami Zayn, he's like, you still got time. He said, because your time is running off. And then, of course, Sami Zayn, told Seth Rollins go to hell. And he ended up getting speared, like so hard that they even had to stop the match, because you can see Seth Rollins did the cutthroat thing just like how Rollins, not Rollins, but how The Rock actually did when he told Cena to do it. And this is very interesting, you guys. The show ended the show ended with 3 of those guys just standing up. But they already done took out Roman Reigns. They already done took out took out CM Punk. They already done took out Sami Zayn now. And of course, Rollins and Punk and Roman. And it'll be a matter of time before we even get Jey. Anyways, you see the match that's going on here. Roxanne Perez, which they kept calling her Roseanne, and I was like, yeah, Roseanne done got a little shorter and looked a little different with a tan. But it was crazy, you guys. But anyways, the match ended up coming into a disqualification where Julia came out, interrupted the match, and Rhea Ripley ended up chasing off Julia. So I can't wait to see Julia versus Rhea Ripley in a one-on-one match. The match was actually a pretty good match, I have to say the least. You have to like how both of these competitors kept the match going, kept the flow going, and everything. Rating on that match, I would have to say it was definitely 8 out of 10 for this match here. But it looks like we'll probably have a tag match sooner rather than later, where it'll be Julia and Roxanne Perez versus the team of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So wonder how that is going to go, you guys. Let me know your thoughts on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, teaming up. Maybe they'll do it at Backlash. We'll see how WWE decides to move forward with this. Okay, this is the part I'm talking about where we got Logan Paul out at the show, pretty much saying that he defeated, AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And people keep calling him YouTuber, and he pretty much says Jay Uso's name. Jay Uso did come out, you guys, in a tank top, no Yeet shirt, no nothing. So I was like, wow, okay. But he has a Yeet chain. I was like, man, I know he doesn't spend like a massive massive couple $100,000s on that. There was a fan out there, this boy, is cancer free. He had to respect that. And, Jay Uso, went over there and gave him his glasses. Shouts out to him as well. You guys, Jay Uso ended up, saying pretty much saying that he'll fight Logan Paul for this championship. And, he said 4-letter, 1 word, yeet, and you get the gist. Anyways, Jay Uso ended up super kicking Logan Paul, super kicked the mic up to his mouth. And, that later on part, that's where Jay Uso ended up getting knocked out with that, with that hand of Logan Paul, where he has those little pins in there, which is kind of illegal for him to be actually using that, even though he's selling it. But at the same time, it's like, god dang, man, like, find something else to use. Like, and I can't understand why he keeps having keeps changing his song, which is kind of teeing me off. Anyways, we had Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch did come out and said that she was the one that attacked Bayley, but Bayley's not really injured. And she goes on to talk about what Bayley was saying during her interview, saying that she's not, she wants to feel like a star. She wanted to be at WrestleMania and so on and so forth. And I was like, dang, okay, that's getting too personal. And of course, I think it's going to end up where they're going to do Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch at Backlash coming up. I think it's next Saturday. I could be wrong, but anyways, Lyra Valkyria said she don't want to be the next Bayley. I mean, not the next Bayley, the next Becky Lynch. And this feud right here is definitely going to be good. I can't wait to actually see these two competitors fight. And like I said, this feud is going to be awesome. Becky Lynch did, attack Lyra Valkyria, as Lyra Valkyria, was celebrating with the crowd and all that stuff. But it's going to be very crazy if Becky Lynch, picks up that title. We did get Rusev backstage, and, he pretty much saying, like AEW, well, he didn't say AEW, but he was saying they were the Abyss. And, that he's here to, help, help the ones who have fallen and so on and so forth. And pretty much it's going to be kind of like his character that he had in AEW, which I think that'd be actually pretty cool. But long as they book him right, I think he'll be fine as well. Then we ended up getting Ivar and Eric versus JD McDonough and Finn Balor, which the match that Liv Morgan actually, put together. And I didn't know champions can actually make matches. Which I'm like, dang, I was like, now I remember general managers used to make matches, but now I guess WWE got it to where, a champion can come out, make a match, or, something like that. And I'm like, well, dang, okay. So, I guess we really don't need a general manager. I mean, we can just have the wrestlers that has to come out and make matches. But anyways, JD McDonough, he ended up getting pushed out the rope because, Penta has an issue with the Judgment Day, and that the Kofi Keats to kill me with his face. And he just had me laughing so hard, like when you look at him, because the Viking Raiders end up winning this match because Penta pushed JD McDonough off the rope. And of course, this was way before the match. He said he was going to return, but he didn't tell Finn Balor. He told Dominic Mysterio. So definitely going to catch a lot of attention and everything here as well with these two. And this was where they were sitting out there, and they had like different hairdos. I was like, whoa, what's going on now? I'm like, they're dressed like, they got millions and millions of bucks, which, of course they do. Stephanie Valkyrie, she ended up having her match. A lot of people were happy that she had her match as well. And she ended up coming out victorious. I think she fought Ivy Nile. She fought Ivy Nile, and Ivy Nile seems to be frustrated, but we'll get to that later. This is where, AJ Styles was getting made fun of by Dominic Mysterio, saying that, he's, saying that, he wants to pretty much put Dominic Mysterio in his place. Pat McAfee ended up getting up on the announce table and said, he has something to say. And, of course, Gunther, during the show, he ended up putting a laugh emoji on Twitter and tagged Pat McAfee and WWE into it. And he pretty much overall said, he wants a match against Gunther. He don't care what he has to go through and everything, but Gunther, that guy is something serious. But, of course, he did call out Nick Aldis, which, Adam Pearce is out due to doctor orders, he said. But, he ended up just making a match official. So we'll see how that match is going to go. Raw, I would give this show a 7 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions on this. Like, comment, subscribe to Chris Shows and Views here on YouTube.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.